Brandon, when you see Mountcastle walk twice in this major league debut, does that make you as happy, or maybe even more so, than if he had lined a couple singles to left field?
Yeah, I thought those were two good at bats. Really happy with both those walks, and it was nice for him to get his feet wet tonight and caught a couple balls out there and left, and took a couple of good at bats. So a couple good walks from him tonight.
Dan Connolly, you're up next. Go ahead, Dan.
Brandon, you haven't seen him play in left field in months. He had those two balls like you talked about. What did you see out there just overall, even when the ball wasn't hit to him?
I mean, he made a couple catches in left field, and caught a couple base hits and threw them back in. So I didn't have wasn't one of my major evaluation spectacular nights, just because they were pretty routine plays.
Rich Dubroff, you're up. Go ahead, Rich.
Brandon, as you guys build this ball club and you look at an outfield with Mullins in center, Mountcastle in left, Santander in right, and getting Austin Hayes back in a week or two, is it starting to give you optimism that this is kind of the way you're picturing the team in the future?
Well, we're young, we're inexperienced, but yeah, it's fun to see young and talented guys out there, guys with some tools. Talked a lot about what Santander has done so far. Loved the year he had last year, and they continued to really be an impact player in our game. And then Cedric's had some really nice at bats especially this last week, where he's been he's bunted for some hits. He's really played some nice defense, aggressive on the bases. So I like the tools that he's bringing. He's playing with some confidence, which is nice to see. It was tough losing Austin, and it's we saw what Hayes did last September, and I think he was on track to start doing that again. So that's why it's disappointing for him to miss this time, because he is a big part of our team also, and I like the package that he brings, and the way he plays defense, and the competitiveness in his at bats. He's just really, really competitive guy. So yeah, I think that we're on the right track with getting talented guys in the system, and some of these guys are starting to get to the big leagues, and now they're getting a lot of playing time.
Coach Ozzie, you're up. Go ahead, Joe.
Brandon, you mentioned the confidence with Cedric. How palpable is that on a night like tonight, where he impacts the game in so many different ways? And do you think that's the main difference on a night like tonight compared to what you saw in the beginning of last year?
Yeah, I just see a total different guy from a confidence standpoint. A guy playing with some energy, and taking charge more in center field for sure. More competitive in at bats, where he's looking to make something happen and get on base. Like nice to see him drop the head on a ball tonight and get carried out to left field, right-handed. So that we're moving in the right direction there from his swings from both sides of the plate. So I think that's all. This game is such a confidence game, and right now he's playing with a little bit of a swagger and playing confidently.
Nathan Ruiz, you're up. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hey, Brandon, what did you make of John Means' outing?
The life to his stuff was good again. He just got hurt with his changeup tonight. Just didn't really have the real good changeup, and that was where the mistakes came, and that's where the damage came from for him. And Lopez too, also had really good stuff, but the changeup to Devers with a 3-run homer. So we got beat with our changeups tonight. But I thought John looked strong, got his pitch count up a little bit. I would have liked to see him throw a few more breaking balls, knowing that the changeup was, they were kind of on that. I would have liked to see him go to something else, make an adjustment in his outing. But that's just something that he's going to learn from.
Time for a couple more. Brett Hollander, you're up next.
Hey, Brandon, with Means, the changeup was so effective last year. Is it a touch or a feel or just a repetitious thing to kind of just keep going and just throwing more at this point?
Yeah, he kind of ran into that a little bit last year too, where the changeup got a little bit elevated and got a little flat. And that's kind of what I see right now. It doesn't have the dive action, the kind of the pause at the plate with the tilt down that it had last year. For me, it's just kind of staying flat. So I just something for him to continue to work on. But the fastball velo is great. The aggressive, you saw the aggressiveness with his fastball in the first inning was fantastic. So we're trending in the right direction there also. But yeah, the changeup, especially that first half last year, that was his money pitch, and that was the pitch to really get guys off of his fastball, and guys couldn't sit one speed. And the changeup looks like to me like it's just morphed into with his fastball a little bit, even though the miles per hour is right around 10. He threw one in 83 that did have some dive and depth to it. So that was encouraging. That was kind of at the end of his outing. But yeah, I just think the changeup right now, he doesn't have the great feel for it, and it's just staying a little bit flat.
Last question, Stan Charles, you're up. Go ahead.
Brandon, both with Cedric and Chance, they both worked at hitting academies with instructors. Could you just explain a little the process? Does the club pick out the hitting instructor for them and act as a liaison between the player and the instructor?
That's a conversation that happens toward the end of the year and into the off season, where it either comes from a player or the agent's idea or the club's idea. But both those guys did do some work this past off season, and I think that you're seeing both of them getting the benefits from it. It was really nice from Chance, a left on left opposite field homer off Osich, who typically has good numbers against left-handed hitters, but that was nice to see Chance stay on one and drive one out against a left-handed pitcher there. But yeah, I think that they're they both put a ton of work into their swing in the last calendar year plus, and looks like they're getting more comfortable